Appreciate it. Just what I need. Take this! Salamando! Salamando! Fireball! Fireball! Time to show them just what I'm made of. Thanks, everyone. Let me see. Is this? I'm Val, the Soul Guard. I came across your elemental vessel and wanted to return it.
Gracious! I was wondering where Ramco and the little ones spirited that away to. Thank you. Those youngins will get an earful later, but enough about that. Welcome to Rannngeerrr, friends.
A pleasure. So where might we find the Alm of Wind?
On that subject, I have some unfortunate news. The fairy has not yet arrived to name the Alm.
Oh, then you're still waiting to see who gets the job?
Here in the Vale, we welcome the fairy with a traditional wind-dyeing ceremony, as performed by one of our wind oracles. But this year, our attempts at the ritual have been unsuccessful. There is one oracle, Karina, whose attunement to the wind element is unparalleled. At this rate, I fear that without Karina, the fairy may not come at all. Sadly, she refuses to listen to my orders anymore. No matter what I do or how soundly her parents scold her, Karina says she won't budge until she feels like it. But now that you have arrived, Sir Soul God, there may be a chance to get her to see reason. I humbly beseech you to talk to Karina.
What? Why me?
Perhaps if she is buffeted by a breath of fresh air, she may yet bend to the winds of fate. Be sure to give her a good buffeting, mind you.
You mean use the vessel to literally knock some sense into her?
Surely a precious artifact should be handled delicately.
These days, the elemental vessel is scarcely used as more than a child's plaything. I am certain that a soul god would have much better applications for such an object. Come, if the fairy is not properly welcomed, it could be the end of the Vale as we know it. Please, you must make Karina see reason.
I think I've got my work cut out for me this time.
The chief seemed genuinely worried for the fate of the Vale. Now's your time to shine, Sir Soul Guard.
Got some syrup.
You folks in the habit of staring at strangers? What is it? Are you selling something? Find somewhere else to hawk your wares.
Are you by any chance Karina, the Wind Oracle? I'm Hina, the Alma Fire. And this is...
Val, the Soul Guard. Nice to meet you.
What's the convoy of alms want with me? No, let me guess. The chief sent you to convince me to do the wind dyeing, right?
Well, yeah, actually. In Tiania, we build a ceremonial bonfire to celebrate the fairy's arrival. Longren has different traditions, though, right?
The chief thinks sending outsiders to do his dirty work is gonna make me budge. Well, he's got another thing coming. Nope, never again.
But if the fairy doesn't come, no one can be named the Alm of Wind. For the sake of Longren and the rest of the world, would you please consider performing the wind dyeing ceremony?
When someone asks a stranger for a favor, usually they have something to offer in exchange. I'll tell you what, you can find Shiryu for me. I've looked all over town already, and I gotta get off my feet for a bit.
Shiryu? I'm guessing they're a friend of yours. What do they look like?
He's dreamy, about the same age as me. Got a nice smile.
Oh, someone kinda like Val then?
Spare me, he's nowhere near as wimpy as this guy.
Gee, thanks. Well, Hina, sounds like we have a missing person to find. If Karina's already looked in town, let's try the outskirts.
Hello there. Shiryu, I presume?
That's me. And you're?
Val, the Soul Guard. And this is Hina, the Alma Fire.
Oh, Val, Hina. Lovely to meet you. I'm Shiryu, a historian and keeper of tales from the Vale.
What are you doing so far outside of Longren?
Calibrating windmills, actually. The wind's been hard to predict lately, which might be a side effect of having no alm yet.
Speaking of alms, Karina said she'd help call the fairy with some wind dyeing if we found you for her.
She did, huh? I guess she came around to the idea after all.
Is the dyeing process hard or something?
Not particularly. As long as you know the steps, that is. You just capture the breeze with the cloth to bring out the colored dye. The issue is that the fairy won't come for just any old round of wind dyeing. Karina has the most skill in Longren, so she has the best chance of summoning her.
Then why is she so averse to helping?
Because Karina wants... She wants to be chosen as the Alm. But all she's ever heard from the rest of the Vale is that she's wrong for the job. And yet, they keep asking her to help with the wind dyeing. It wouldn't surprise me if the fairy was staying away on purpose to avoid these hypocrites.
But why would Karina be a bad choice of Alm?
Did she pick a fight with the elemental or something?
That's a good one. But nothing that scandalous, I promise. But it's complicated. Too complicated to bother you both with right now. Besides, I know Karina wants the Vale to prosper, just like everyone else. And it looks like your arrival might have been enough to give her that push. Anyway, I'll head back to the Vale for now. See you there. And thank you.
Now you're just being stubborn. Didn't you hear that the convoy from Tiania has already arrived?
We can't keep wasting the alm's time with your selfishness. You're putting the whole Vale in danger with your temper tantrum.
If you want to meet the fairy so bad, then you do the ceremony. Why does it always have to be me, anyway? It's not like I have a chance at becoming the Alm. Y'all made that abundantly clear. You think I'll just go along and do all the hard work for nothing?
Pouting about it won't help your case, you know.
I'm not pouting. I'm angry. After all, I just wanted to be the Alm and see the world.
Honey, we know it's hard for you to accept, but it's been years since anyone in our family has been considered worthy of Alm status.
Sure, your affinity to the wind element meant you had a good chance at the gig. But after what you did in the sanctum?
Fine. Criticize me all you want, but I don't regret my actions one bit, so stop lecturing me.
How irresponsible. The other wind oracles don't cause their parents this much trouble.
But if we don't push her, the fairy might not visit Longren at all. Maybe Shiryu can talk some sense into her.
Aha! There you are! Thanks for finding Shiryu for me.
No sweat. So you'll perform the wind dyeing ceremony now?
Did I say that? Next time, get it in writing. Besides, I have some stuff to talk to Shiryu about. Bye-bye.
Hang on. I thought you wanted a favor for a favor. We gotta call the fairy to Longren before it's too late.
Karina, don't forget. There's that old saying about the disaster that could befall our tribe if an alm isn't chosen. The wind will rage, and the winged fall flightless.
We're too old for fairy tales, Shiryu. Besides, the wind is always blowing here, and it's not like we dragon folk use our wings to fly in the first place.
Maybe the proverb isn't meant for dragon folk. Ramco has wings too, you know?
Fine. But I don't have to be the one to do it. No one in town even cares who does the wind dyeing, and I wouldn't do it even if they begged. Why bother? It's not like the fairy would ever pick me to be the Alm anyway.
I have an idea. Val, why don't you do the wind dyeing instead?
Me?
Anyone is allowed to use the technique. And besides, it never hurts to have a breath of fresh air to try and bend the winds of fate.
The chief said something similar, now that you mention it.
Good luck, you'll need it. I think I'll just stay here with Shiryu if it's all the same to you.
You two do make a cute couple.
Yeah. Look, the dyeing stall is up a ways over there. Just give it a go.
Okay, it's up to me to perform the ceremony and call the fairy. Here goes nothing.
If it doesn't work for you, let me have a go.
All right, we'll take turns.
You are here for the wind dyeing? Forgive me, it is a complicated process. Even oracles in training have trouble with the steps.
Well, someone's gotta try. What was it? Breath of fresh air and all that?
Oh, look! Ramco has come to watch!
What's a Ramco anyway?
She's not a what? She's a sacred beast. Her ilk usually resides in the wind sanctum near the Veil. When Karina was training in the sanctum, she suffered a grave injury. Though she lost one of her wings, this sacred beast saw her safely back home. Since then, the two have been like sisters, nigh inseparable. Ramco even began to stay here in the Veil instead of returning to her home. Although, Karina has been so preoccupied with Shiryu recently that she and Ramco have become distant. Perhaps they're growing apart. Oh, please excuse my rambling. I shouldn't distract you from trying to summon the fairy for everyone in the Veil.
Yeah, sure. No pressure or anything.
You can do it, Val.
Let's see. Come, wind!
That won't get you anywhere. You couldn't even swat a bug, let alone call forth a fairy.
I thought you said you were busy with Shiryu.
It's not my fault your flailing was so bad I couldn't ignore it. Even a novice could do this better than you. Thanks. It's been a while since I laughed so hard.
So, Hina, do you want to give it a go next?
Oh, can I?
Huh? But she's the alma fire. Where's the sense in that?
True, it's never been done. But I'd have quite a tale for the history books if the Alm of Fire were to call forth the fairy for the Veil of Wind this year.
Give me a break.
Oh, I see. Please allow me to try, Shiryu. I bet I can expertly harness this wind.
Hold it right there. Fine, I'll do it. As the best dyer in the Veil, I have now officially changed my mind. I'll show you how it's really done. Write that in your history books. Come, wind! Bring forth color!
Oh.
It's the fairy!
Huh?
Oh, Shiryu has been chosen as the Alm.
Congrats, Shiryu. Good job.
No,
Huh?
no, I refuse. I won't be the Alm!
But why? Being named the Alm is an honor. Why would you run away from your duty?
Hina?
I actually haven't named anyone the Alm yet.
How could he betray my trust like this?
Yeah. Shiryu was the one insisting that you had to call the fairy to keep the veil from being destroyed. Then he just ran away.
He should know better. He saw how hard I worked to be worthy. It's always been my dream, even though I knew it was hopeless. Everyone kept saying it's impossible for someone like me to be the Alm of Wind, that I can't feel the wind beneath my wings like the rest of them do, now that I've lost one of them. When I told them all that the wind still spoke to me, no one in the Vale believed it. Not the other oracles, not my parents, and certainly not the chief. They pitied me, laughed at me when I said I wouldn't give up. Only Shiryu and Ramco stuck with me. But Shiryu never understood what it meant to me. He never understood me. Well, I'm done with him. Hey, fairy!
What?
Appoint me the Alm. I'll take Shiryu's place. I'm the perfect candidate. Make me the Alm of Wind.
The decision isn't entirely up to me. I must consult with your patron elemental first. But your skill with the wind dyeing was most impressive. The wind was dancing with joy. I believe that Sylphid may accept you as the Alm if we ask.
I'll take your compliments to heart, fairy. Sounds like we've got an elemental to convince.
Where do we find this Sylphid fella?
At Mount Gala, the source of the winds. Do you and your girlfriend want to come? As the Soul Guard, it's your job to see even potential alms safely to their destination, right?
You have a point. Let's go to Mount Gala.
But I gotta find her before we head off, or I'd never forgive myself. I ignored her for so long, but if this works out and I am named the Alm, I have to say goodbye before I go. And I gotta apologize. Help me find Ramco? Where could Ramco have run off to?
Come on, Hina. Let's help Karina search.
Of course! What good is a convoy if we don't work together?
Thanks. I mean it. She's gotta be in the Vale somewhere. Let's keep looking. Ramco? I'm so sorry. I was stupid. I got so caught up in Shiryu that I neglected you. But in the end, you were the only one who understood me. I have to go and meet with Sylphid now in order to become the Alm of Wind. I guess this is goodbye. Go back to your home in the Sanctum. Farewell, my friend. This isn't the way to the Wind Sanctum, you know. You really want to come with me? Okay, let's get moving. Thanks for helping me find Ramco, but we're not done yet. I won't rest until I found Sylphid.
Don't worry. I'm here to protect you. Let's go.
I'm just glad that you and Ramco made up. Oh look! Another dud bear!
Yep, dud bears can be found all over the world. At least that's what Shiri... You know what? Never mind.
Let's be sure to greet any dud bears we spot during our travels. We'll probably end up with spare grizzly syrup to trade anyway.
Karina, the wind conveyed the news. You are off to consult with Sylphid, the elemental of wind, if I am not mistaken.
There's nothing you can say that'll change my mind. I'll become the Alm and make you see you were wrong about me. About everything.
Soul God, as you can see, young Karina is as stubborn as can be. But we cannot disobey the fairy's guidance. Please see Karina safely to wherever she is needed, be that the Mana Tree or otherwise.
You can count on it.
Well, you heard him. Just remember that you'll have me to thank for the Vale's prosperity from here on out.
Before you leave, Soul God, I would have you take this seed with you. It is said to bring forth hidden abilities of the bearer. Take it with my blessing.
Thanks. I'll find a use for it.
The elms are necessary to preserve a future for the whole world. It is our duty, much as a soul guard's duty is to protect us. Karina, an oracle of wind, wishes to take upon herself the task of an alm of her own volition. No one fights against their fate if they themselves choose to bear it. We all have our individual roles to play, places from which we hail, ways of life. All of these affect the future. And I am proud to be the bearer of such an important mission for those who may come after.
Mind letting me get a piece of that thing the chief gave you before we left? I figure I need to be as strong as I can be to fight monsters out here.
Wait, you're going to fight too?
I might seem like a delicate blossom, but I'm a force to be reckoned with.
That wasn't the happiest farewell back there. Will you be able to set out on the pilgrimage straight away if you're chosen as the Alm?
Don't worry, I'm not leaving anything behind that I care about. Honestly, I couldn't wait to leave. I've always wanted to see what's out there in the world. Back in Longren, they don't let you travel much unless you're chosen to be the Alm. If it weren't for you showing up when you did, I'd still be stuck in town, itching to get out. Thanks for that, actually.
Then I suppose we'll have to do our best so that you get to continue on the Alm's journey.
The people of Tiania sure are friendly. Or maybe you folks are the exception.
The elemental vessel is reacting to something. How strange.
Whoa!
Oh, I do believe the spirits wish to aid you on your journey. Elemental vessels can tap into different types of mana and bestow those powers on their wielders. Don't hesitate to use them during your travels. And now, I must be off!
Karina, do you know if Ramco is fully grown?
She hasn't grown much since we met, but I think she's still a baby. Our village has tales from olden times of huge sacred beasts flying through the skies on their bright white wings.
Then will you give us a lift once you're big enough, Ramco?
She said no thanks.
Oh, too bad. I kind of wanted a ride.
Ramco says that she'll let you ride on her, Hina.
No fair. Let's rest up.